Welcome to my backyard garden. It's the garage edition today because it's still cold outside. This is where I do most of my work in the early spring when I'm getting my garden ready to go with planting my seedlings and all that. So today I'm going to start my peppers, and I'm going to start my peppers today. It's the end of February, and you start your peppers. The recommended time is to do it 12 weeks if you're going to start your seedlings. 12 weeks before your last frost, which in my area comes in at June 1st. So I'm going to backtrack 12 weeks, and it's the beginning of March. So I'm going to start my seedlings in my seed starting mix, and I've got a link down in the comment section below. Will tell you what my exact mix is, but I use peat moss, leaf compost, I use worm castings, and vermiculite. And I put all those in there, and it's a good seed starting mix for what I do. So one thing you want to make sure when you get this mix going is to sift this with 1/4-inch hardware cloth, because this is what you end up with. If you see that, I've got sticks and there's pebbles in there and all kinds of chunky stuff. I don't want that in my seed starting mix because it interferes with my ability to work the seeds and do what I want to do. So make sure you sift this first. Now the other thing I've done is I've put boiling water in and soak this in boiling water to kill all the organisms and fungus, and you get gnats and stuff like that that could be in the potting soil or the leaf, the compost. So you want to make sure you use boiling water to really heat this up and kill everything that's in here, so we don't have issues once the seedlings are starting to grow. So today I'm going to plant my peppers, and I use these little baggies. These are really nice to use. I don't even know what they're called, but there you go. Sure Fresh, and they allow me to write what I have, and I put the year on here. These are seeds from last year's crop, and so I've got these are orange. I grow specifically bell peppers. I like bell peppers. I don't get into all the other varieties, the exotic type of stuff, but I grow green, red, yellow, gold, and yellow peppers. So that's what I do. I'm just going to throw them down here, and I'm going to show you a different type of way that I'm going to start my seeds this year. You can use your 2-inch cells. You can do soil blocks. You can use the little plastic condiment cups that I used last year, and I've got videos on how to start with all those different options. But I'm going to just plant in one large bowl and then cover them with some soil, some more mix, and then water them in a little bit better, and then I'm going to let them go. So that's all I'm going to do for today. So this year I'm going to use the biodynamic method of seed starting, which means instead of using a cell or soil blocks or the condiment cups like I've done in the past, I'm going to take a flat filled with the starter mix, and I'm going to take my seeds. These are all my pepper seeds. They're all 5 colors, and I'm going to just sprinkle them around the flat. I get them to start going, and I'm just going to scatter them around like this, and there's no method or spacing. You're just going to put them in here and get the whole entire flat filled with seeds. And once I'm done with this, I'm going to cover them up. At a certain point when they're probably 2 or 3 inches tall, I'll start to get these out of the container here, and I'll transplant them into a larger cell individually at that point. I'm going to take the soil and I'm going to sprinkle it over. Now, the idea is you don't really want to cover it too much. Undercovering in this system is better than overcovering, because when you undercover, the seeds will still germinate. When you overcover, if you put them down too far in the starter mix, they won't necessarily germinate as well. So I'm just going to do that. Sprinkle over here a little bit. Make sure they're all just covered. And I'm going to water them in a little bit with this. So I'm just going to spray them over a little bit. And what I want to do is just moisten the topsoil, the top over here, enough that it's going to stay damp. Because I just want to keep it damp for the next 12 to 14 days until these germinate. So they don't dry out in the middle of the germination and then the seeds will die off. That was relatively easy. The prep time, getting the starter mix damp, and that was the same as I do for any of my other methods. But just sprinkling the seeds down, covering them with some soil, a little bit of soil, then spraying the water over the top of it to moisten this really good. Wasn't really hard at all. So now I'm going to take this inside, put it in the window for a couple of weeks, and wait for them to sprout. And then I'll be back then with another video and see how we did with this, and then the process moving along. Hope that was helpful. If you liked the video, give it a like, share it with your friends. If you would subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. Leave your comments and questions below. And then, of course, pound that bell to get notified of my future videos. Back soon with more stuff.